concocting all manner of lies, trying to deceive, try to derail, try to destroy what Chukwu Okabiama has ordained. And some of you followed him, who has never been a member, who you have never seen in one of our major 1 million man march or in any important places we have gone in this struggle to bring our matter, such as the UN, the European Union, the US, wherever we have, we have gone to bring our matter to the people that matter. This guy has never been seen anywhere. This guy have never been seen any protest in the country where he lived. He had not been seen in the continent where he lived, and he has not been seen anywhere in the name of IPOB. But some people were following him sheepishly, and he started to manipulate your mind. That's why the liberation of the mind and the intellect is why we are here, to make sure that this will never happen again, that at the end of this program, you should be able to activate your frontal lobe and begin to reason properly as a human being you are, because you are Biafrans. We are always a different breed when it comes to the people that occupy that geographical space called Nigeria. So before I continue, I want to pray for Mazi Kanu, our leader, our supreme leader of this indigenous people of Biafra. We have prayed many times and we will never stop praying for him, because it was Chukwu Okabiama who called him to do this work, and he called us equally to come and work with him, because he can never do it alone. He can never do it alone. You can never be a leader if you don't have followers. So the followers made you a leader. And he has said that himself many times during our meeting in the DOS. So we pray that Chukwu will continue to protect and guide him wherever he is. Protect him against those evil ones who are holding him illegally. Because we know that since October 13, 2022, Mazi Kanu has been discharged and acquitted by a court of jurisdiction in Nigeria, plus other, courts around Africa and the UN working group. But they are still holding him illegally. See now. So we pray that all hands that are holding Mazi Kanu shall break into pieces. They shall sleep and never wake up. He will come out from there when they were asleep, when they were not aware, or when they have joined their ancestors, those who have become the stumbling block, that he will never come out from there. They should be joining their ancestors. Then Nnamdi Kanu will come out victoriously and expeditiously. Pray also for Mazi Chike, who is now wearing the big shoe that Nnamdi Kanu has left behind. Mazi Chike is the head of the Directorate of State. He has ensured, not only now, but even from the inception of this struggle, he was here. But since our leader was kidnapped, all burden was laid on his shoulder. And he has ensured that this particular IPOB, the heart of this struggle, is not allowed to see corruption, despite all the machinations of our enemies and all the shenanigans of the infiltrators who have been hired to come and see if they can destroy this struggle. They have done their work so far, but we are not perturbed. Mazi Chike, Chukwu will continue to bless you. Bless all the members of the OS who are sincere and who are working assiduously in tandem with the leadership of this struggle. We pray for our radio presenters who has taken over the work of Mazi Kanu, disseminating message of importance, messages of awareness, of liberation, and of, what do you call it? The message of liberation and revolution. All of you We pray that Chukwu Okabia will continue to bless and sustain all of you with more wisdom, knowledge, and strength. Our media warriors, we will not forget to thank you for the good work you're doing. We are doing this for ourselves. The reason why we're thanking you is not because nobody else can do what you're doing, but because you have been called to do this work at this particular point in time, and you have made yourself available. We thank you. We thank all the coordinators, especially in Europe and then other part of the world, because IPOB is worldwide. We thank you. Thank all the principal officers and, of course, all the family members of IPOB who are making it happen wherever and whenever they are called upon. We pray for the medical corps, those who are in charge of making sure that our wounded are treated as quick as possible to save their lives. Last but not the least, we thank the ESN, who has been our last line of defense, men and women of honor and dignity, those who are most patriotic among men, who has chosen to abandon their pleasure of their home and live in the bushes and forests in order to protect our land and our people from the marauding terrorists who are coming from the Sahel to connive with the politicians in our land then to take over our land in the name of Ruga or in whatever nomenclature they are coming with. These particular brave men and women has made it possible that our land is safer today and that our parents can still go to the farm and harvest what they have planted without being molested or killed. We thank you and pray that Chukwu Okabia will continue to bless, sustain each and every one of you, give you victory in every attempt you have made, in every action you take, protect our land and our people from the enemies of Biafra. In the name of Chukwu Okabia, we have prayed. He said, Biafrans all over the world. And like I said, this is the last broadcast we are going to bring to you from Europe. And we want to recap that IPOB Europe, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Directorate of State, headed by Mazi Kedoziem, is intact. Although we have all the infiltrators, their headquarters in Europe, but we have rendered them useless. We even brought protests in their home and their doorstep, and they ran away. They were nowhere to be found. They ran away, peeping from the window to tell you how formidable we are. We have remained indomitable and formidable at all times. The Zoological Republic called Nigeria has tried everything humanly possible to see if they can derail this struggle, because their belief was when they have captured our leader and renditioned him and incarcerated him in Abuja, they will be easier for them then to make sure that this struggle is derailed. But they didn't know that we have so many Nnamdi Kanus in our midst. They are just holding one of us. We are thousands. Those who will never ever accept bribe to betray this struggle, because we didn't come here to make money. We have already eaten very, very well before we attend the occasion. We are not hungry. Hungry man doesn't do freedom fighting. Our leader has said it many times. We didn't come here to make money. Those who came to make money, you will see how they are going to end, because blood of millions of people are involved. That is what motivates us to do the work we are doing. Millions have made ultimate sacrifice in this struggle. And if you are thinking about them, thinking about what they have become in this life, if their life were not taken so soon away from them, you would never ever agree to accept bribe, betray your own person or your land. It is an abomination. this abomination to betray your own land and your people, because if our ancestors had betrayed our land, we wouldn't have been here today, and we wouldn't have any place to call our home. So it is our onus, it's our responsibility to ensure that this particular Biafra land that is handed over to us, this generation of IPOB will restore it by the help and power of Chukwuka. The zoo called Nigeria has become a laughing stock, not only in the eyes of the people in Africa, but in the world in general. They have done sacrilegious things just to betray IPOB, just to frustrate us, just to keep Mazi Nnamdi Kanu incarcerated. They have broken most of their own laws. And this has landed them as a failed state. Because of the indicators of a failed state is what you have seen in Nigeria. Corruption, even in the judicial system. Police force that are killing their own citizens, extorting money from them. The military, the custom, the navy, the air force, all of them are fighting against their own people they are supposed to protect. The politics, those who you vote for will not be given the mandate to take the office. They will just select somebody and impose that person on you. This is another sign of a failed state. The will of the people will never be respected in the zoo called Nigeria. So remaining in one Nigeria, you will be in one almighty mess, and you can never make any headway, no progress, because the zoo is the killer of talent and future. Nothing good will come out from there, because nobody is a Nigerian. Nobody loves this country. What they love is the mineral resources they are getting from it, sharing it among themselves. That's why they are clinging on to one Nigeria. Not only that, the Fulani hegemony is also doing what they are doing today because of one Nigeria. If you get your freedom, if Nigeria is divided today according to nationalities that made up this particular zoo, Fulani will have no other place to say, this is Nigeria, this is our country, this is our whatever. They will now find out that they don't have anywhere to call their home. They come from the Sahel, from Futajelon, they will go back there. But as long as one Nigeria continues to exist, they will have a claim over it, because nobody is a Nigerian. This is one of the things we want you to take home tonight, that the zoo has fallen. The zoo called Nigeria has fallen. As they have domiciled the corruption and terrorism, kidnapping, injustice, cash and carry justice all over the place. These are signs of failed state. So our leader has said it many times, and we are here to reiterate that by the time we finish with this zoo called Nigeria, it is going to be thrown into the dustbin of history. Just like you have Czechoslovakia, you have West and East Germany, you have Soviet Union, Yugoslavia, and the like. The zoo will be remembered no more. It will be thrown into the dustbin of history, because it was not made for the people, but it was basically formed as a business entity for Britain. That's why they don't care how many lives you waste in that country. What matters to them is how much resources is flowing into their country. So the sooner we extricate ourselves from this particular unworkable union called Nigeria, the better for all of us. So therefore, we in the Directorate of State have come to reiterate that this particular IPOB that is handed over to us will never be allowed to see corruption. Our leader, Mazi Kanu, must be released, whether the zoo like it or not. We are going to compel them to leave Mazi Kanu because he has committed no crime known to law. We have defeated them everywhere, including in their own court, despite all the corruption that it has been embedded into. We have defeated them. And we have maintained, not because of our own power, but because of our ideological and philosophical consistency in this struggle. And that Chukwu Kabama also has been with us all through the way. The Ekwerima and the rest of them, the zoo has hired them, all the inconsequential and the unscrupulous vagabonds, to infiltrate and derail the Biafra struggle. But everyone can see that they have failed woefully, and they will continue to fail because our hands are clean. Our leaders say, if you know what I have done, come and say it. Our hands are clean, that's why we are successful, that's why everything we touch become gold. What is our budget compared to the budget of the zoo, who has been fighting us furiously to ensure that this struggle will be destroyed before our leader will be released? Compared to what we have and what they have invested, it is a millennium apart. But we are winning because of our consistency, our honesty, and because of the divine providence in this struggle. So IPOB Europe is intact, and we have come to encourage you to continue to support the IPOB family wherever you live in this world. Pray for our leader, Mazi Kanu, and pray for this leadership that all the efforts we are making to bring him out will be successful, because we are in a state of war. Well, some of you will not know that the war has been brought to us not only when they are throwing bombs on your schools and marketplaces and hospitals, as they did from 1966 to 1970, but the war they are fighting this time is the war to destroy you from within, so that you will be killing yourselves. The insecurity in Biafra land, if you dig deep, you know that it is not just an ordinary insecurity, but many, many factors are in play to make sure that our places are destroyed, and then the people will vacate the land for them to occupy. So, but IPOB has been their last bus stop, their nightmare, and we continue to ensure that we will be the last person and the last man standing to defend our land with the last drop of our blood, because we have no other place to call our home. So, Biafrans, I believe after this broadcast, you will be glad you did listen, and listen again and again to liberate your mind and your spirit, so that your physical being will know what to do to succeed. Freedom is not given, but taken. And we have come to take our own freedom, because no one will give it to you. Thank you so much for your listenership. I will now go ahead to call the people who have come with me today to disseminate, to discuss, to encourage, and to talk to our people all over the world. So I start by calling my deputy, Mazi Austine, to come and address Biafrans, after which other coordinators will be called up to address Biafrans as well. Thank you, Biafrans all over the world. Mazi Austine, if you can hear me, the floor is yours now to address our people. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mazi Austine. I hope I'm coming out clear from here, please.
Go ahead, Mazi, you are coming out clear.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good evening to you, and good evening to all my fellow comrades in the house, and also to our host today, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu. Good evening from here, and to Biafrans all over the world, and the IPOB family around this globe. My greetings from here, and also I'm bringing you good tidings from my location here today. Of course, I will not hesitate to recognize the apex leader of this movement, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu himself, and also our head of directors, Mazi Doziem, and his deputy, and all the rest of the members of the Directorate of State, and the IPOB principal officers in Europe here, and also IPOB officers who are serving in various capacity anywhere in Biafra land and also across the globe. Of course, I'm greeting you this night, for coming out to listen to us. Mazi Jonathan, thank you very much once again. Thank you very much. Of course, I would like to say one or two things tonight as IPOB European National Coordinators program have come to an end this week. It's not the end of it anyway, but we have to allow other continents to take over, and that will continue to be going around until it gets to our turn again. So we are not out of the show, but at least for the last 1 week plus now, IPOB European National Coordinator has been addressing our people, and we have come to the end of this program so far for today. And greetings to Biafrans worldwide, and to our listeners. Of course, they are very, very important. We are not going to forget them. The listeners, friends of Biafras and the lovers of freedom, people of good conscience and of goodwill. Welcome to this evening edition. And my name remains Mazi Austine. I reside here in the Republic of Ireland, and by the special grace of Chukwu Okike, as I serve the indigenous people of Biafra in the capacity of Deputy European Rep and also a member of the Directorate. What we come here to do this night is to reaffirm and reiterate our position and to reassure our people that we are not going to shortchange in any way for this Biafra restoration. We have come to restore Biafra. It doesn't matter what the enemy thinks. It doesn't matter what the British are doing with their handlers in Nigeria. It doesn't matter what the infiltrators are doing. We are committed to restore Biafra, and at no point we are going to retreat. At no point we are going to surrender. At no point we are going to give up. We are not going to back down on this Biafra restoration until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. Biafra is restored. We are not here to joke. We are coming here today to speak life into our people, to know the reason why Biafra must be restored. As I have said in the past, there is a huge revolution going on in Africa, and our people will not be left out at this moment. The zoo have planned their evil plot. They will never allow you to see what is happening in Africa. They will never read the news about what is going on in Africa. They are going to engage you with nonsense on their media platforms so that you will never understand what is going on. And that is why we are here to direct our people to make sure that you listen to Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra is the indigenous peoples of radio. It is our radio. We don't advertise on it. It's all about us. There's no other people that can give the report. There's no other people can give the information. There's no other radio that can read about our history. There's nowhere you can hear about ourselves apart from this radio Biafra. It's very, very important. You can understand why the enemy are working hard to infiltrate this radio, to hijack it from onset. As soon as Onyendu was kidnapped, you see them gallivanting, you see them claiming leadership, you see them claiming that Onyendu instructed them, you see them jumping up and down to claim that they are the mouthspeaker of Radio Biafra. And we are here to let you know that if you don't value what you have, the enemy will take it. As I've said before, this Biafra restoration, the heart of it cannot be allowed to see corruption. No individual will be forgiven by attacking our people. We are not going to forgive. In IPOB, our dictionary, we don't have forgiveness in it. That is why we are letting the enemy know. It doesn't matter how long you are going to continue to do your nonsense against this Biafra restoration. This generation is not going to forgive you. No matter how long it takes. One good thing about IPOB, every activities of IPOB is well documented. Well documented more than the zoo. More than the zoo has information. More than the zoo keep history. In IPOB, we keep information, we keep history, we document every goddamn thing. It doesn't matter how small that branch is. It doesn't matter how small the family branch is. It doesn't matter where the IPOB family is located. We have every documented information about IPOB family anywhere they are and the activities. So bear that in mind. We are coming here to let our people know and also to inform the enemy, to inform the Janjaweed that no inch of Biafra land, no inch of Igbo land, no inch of Ijo land, no inch of Ibibio land, no inch of Akwa Ibom land, no inch of Calabar land will be given to Fulani for any Ruga. We are not going to allow that to happen. Biafra land belongs to Biafrans. Igbo land belongs to Igbos. Ijo land belongs to Ijo land. Akwa Ibom land belongs to Akwa Iboms. Isoko land belongs to Isoko. Urobo land belongs to Urobo land, Urobo people. We have never invaded any person. We have never invaded any community. We have never attempted to cross any border to attack any country. So we are not going to allow anybody, any people, any group, any individual to invade our land, to come and kill us in our bed. We are not going to allow that to happen. This is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu take his time to establish IPOB, which the enemy thought when they kidnap Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that would be the end of the IPOB movement. Today we have proven them wrong. As I have said before several times, and I have to repeat myself once again tonight. With or without Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we are going to restore Biafra. It doesn't matter what and how long the zoo are going to keep Onyendu. We are letting them know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have impregnated thousands of IPOB and Biafrans. So taking him off the scene is not going to change our blueprint in restoring Biafra. Installing infiltrators is not going to change anything. Employing agents to attack IPOB, to create confusion, to create a parallel IPOB is not going to have any effect in our quest for Biafra restoration. This is why we are here tonight, to let our people know that every structure that Onyendu put in place for Biafra restoration, every one of them is intact. If one individual fell, that one will be cut off. There is something that this enemy doesn't know how IPOB is structured. If one individual fell in IPOB, that it does not affect the movement. If you cut off any zone, it does not affect any the IPOB movement. If you infiltrate a country that is hosting IPOB, it does not change. We continue to march on. We cut that part off. They need to understand this. All the members of Directorates of States are living in 7 continents of this world. So you cannot do anything. If you stop one, you have not stopped all. And that is why when you kidnap Mazi Nnamdi, it turned out to mess Nigeria. It turned out to expose Nigeria in their ignominy. Nigeria now, as my European rep have said, have become a laughing stock. IPOB kidnapping Mazi Nnamdi have exposed Nigeria and have let the world know how lawless is Nigeria today. That foreign investors are running away from Nigeria. We have met thousands of people here. We have been speaking. In fact, the way even they push IPOB now, the way we are engaging people now as we speak is even more deadlier than when IPOB we are going out on a protest in the streets. We speak with the people of importance now, and they are telling us the way they see Nigeria. They are telling us Nigeria is a place of, dead bodies. They said Nigeria is a disgrace. People we have spoken with here, people of importance, they said that Nigeria, they are only looking at Nigeria as a means of, making money for themselves. They said that Nigeria is so corrupt, and they don't care the way Nigeria is being run. What matters to them is what they are gaining from Nigeria, what they are stealing from Nigeria. And they have exposed Nigeria now to even Africa. Africa have seen Nigeria now as an impediment to the progress of the whole entire Africa, continent. They have seen Nigeria as an impediment. And it's up to the Yoruba brothers, it's up to the Hausa people, as they are discovering now that the British and the Fulani Janja, which they implored from Niger Republic, Niger Republic, Senegambia, from Cameroon, from Chad, from Niger. This is where they employ these Fulanis who are not indigenous to our space to come and decimate indigenous people who occupy a particular location where natural resources are being deposited by Chukwu. This is exactly what they are doing in Libya today, in Niger today, where the British and the France were busy saying that Niger need to depend on Nigerian resources, on Nigerian food processes. Why they are stealing away and stealing with impunity. This is exactly what they are doing in Biafra land. This is exactly what they are doing in the northern part of the zoo. And we are calling our Yoruba brothers to do the worst, to wake up, to seize the opportunity they have now to make sure that this zoo is brought to an end, that have helped nobody. Nigeria have helped nobody. Nigeria have helped nobody. All of you saw just a couple of days ago when the British, defense minister come to Nigeria. British defense minister left all the way Britain, ignoring his own citizen, Mazi Nnamdi. Tell me what else they brought to Nigeria. I thought 2 years ago that they were talking about, was it a year ago? They were talking about educational summit. Have anybody asked the British Where is that educational summit that you said you had with the fake president? All of you can see the reason why British single-handedly work so hard to go and they bring a fake man to run the zoo so that they can lay oil pipeline from Imo State, our mama, from Abia State to Warri and to Europe. Every one of you can see the reason why these people were hell-bent to run Nigeria with a mask president, a mask fake man, so that they will continue to steal the oil. Because of oil, these people slaughtered Biafrans 7.2 million and 9 million internal refugees. I keep saying this. People did not know how many millions of Biafrans that was murdered by the British. The sitting Prime Minister, Harold Wilson, said that the death of 500,000 Biafrans will not change the British policy in the zoo. That is what a sitting Prime Minister said. When Biafrans were being slaughtered in a cold blood with impunity, genocide being committed against Biafran people. 7.2 million, the record we have here, 7.2 million slaughtered, and the 9 million internal refugee. Nobody helped us. We suffered it. They have come again. Oil that these people have been drilling since over 110 years today, they have not had enough. Because of that, British betrayed themselves, betrayed their nationality, betrayed their dignity, sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, a British citizen. You saw the other day, a British High Commissioner, a small boy wearing Ishiago, addressing the people we called elders in our land, Ohaneze Ndigbo, without even making any reference to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who the zoo court, who Nigerian court have discharged and acquitted. They totally ignore it. And they were posing. And why wouldn't they said, can ask the British High Commissioner, would you be in prison yourself? The way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu been, kept in detention here. After the court have discharged and acquitted, would you like to suffer the same fate as a British? Why are you ignoring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? I'm talking about Igbo development, Igbo land development. The same nonsense they talk about their educational summit. Where is education in Nigeria today? Where is education? Where is development today? But a British, defense minister, all the way from Britain, came to Nigeria to talk about, Nigeria going to war to the neighboring country. This is what British only stands for. Cause problem among families, split them, create disaffection, sow seed of discord, and steal them bride. Why don't British go to war themselves from Britain to Niger? Why don't they do it? Today, Nigerian soldiers are being slaughtered in Niger State. I think was it yesterday? Nigerian military announced mass burial of their colleagues, soldiers, Nigerian soldiers slaughtered in Niger, in Niger State. Niger State in Nigeria. We are not talking about Niger. Niger State, Nigerian soldiers were slaughtered. They never talk about it. They never, their media never carries it. They are talking about mass burial. But Nigerian soldiers are in Biafra land. Our own elders, our own politicians are watching Nigerian soldiers putting roadblock everywhere, frustrating our youth, molesting them, killing them, adopting them. And the people are saying this is the way to live a life. The people are saying that we should be in this contraction they called Nigeria, that have never benefited anyone. This is why Mazi Kanu came out. This is why what Mazi Kanu saw and said that I will sacrifice anything sacrificable to make sure that our people come out from this quagmire. And it is very unfortunate, very sad that our own people were misleaded. Our people were deceived by an infiltrator who nobody knows about him. Only in the COVID-19, they just came about and they started attacking the leadership of IPOB. They started attacking the radio. They started attacking our finance. They started attacking officers. They started attacking ESN. They even answered Eastern Security Network that they don't even know how the name come about. They started using the symbols of ESN to take a picture. Somebody who never knew, never be a part of what we're doing. Immediately, our people fall for it. The same tactics British use, always used a brother to attack a brother, to conquer a brother, to conquer family, to conquer communities. The reason why we are coming on Radio Biafra here talking about this, for our people to begin to reason with their frontal lobe, to wake up, that Africans are waking up now. Because of what Nigeria did, Africa have abandoned them and moved on. Today, as we are speaking, Nigeria ambassador has been expelled from Niger Republic by the junta himself. A whole core giant of Africa is being disgraced across Africa. Africa have moved on. And Biafran youth need to stand up and support the freedom of Mazi Kanu and support this Biafra restoration and support ESN that have done a marvelous job. ESN established by Mazi Kanu. We have all these politicians all these years. They never think, they never had the feelings of our people. They never care about our people. What our people were going through. They wanted to destroy even farmers so that we go on a starvation, so that they will control us, psychologically. When you don't have food, there is no means of getting money, then they will be bribing you against your own will, against your own people. This is what Nigeria politicians are doing. This is what the British are doing. Africa have moved on today. They have expelled a whole Nigeria ambassador out. Look at ordinary Niger. Niger that fought the war for Biafra for them. It was Niger that fought the Biafran people for Nigeria. And today they have shown that authority that Nigeria never win any war. That is exactly what Mazi Kanu said, that Nigeria has never won any war. Everything they claim that they did is being spearheaded by other people or other countries. That is exactly what Nigeria did today, and they have exhibited that in all ramification, proving to Nigeria that they are nobody. It was them. It was a Nigerian citizen that governed Nigeria for 6 years. So who the hell is Nigeria to talk about the invasion of Niger Republic? Let them try it. We are here to let our people know what is going on around the world, that the world have moved on. Our people need to stand up. Our people need to brace up. Our people need to raise their head up. Our people need to be courageous. Understand when they tell you that this is the mantra they have used to disorganize our people for so many years. By going this way our people will never come together. Once they see anything that brings our people together, they will plan infiltrators. Look at what is going on in Igbo Union today. They don't have umbrella. Look at even Ohanes and Igbo. 2019, Ohanes and Igbo was splitted by the Abuja. Those ones who sang Akanchawa, Akanchawa, that was the second Ohanes and Igbo. When Nyamodo refused to dance to their tune at the time. The same method they want to do in IPOB. The same Igbo. This is what they want to exhibit. They love it even when you are using your mouth to say Igbo. Meaning that you have nowhere to go. You have no representative. You have no presentation. Because you said Igbo. And this is the reason why even in the church they fragmented themselves all over the place. There's no single umbrella that speaks for our people. No single one. There's no group that will go and present the killings of Biafrans, the raping of our women, the attacks even in the church. They cannot even, there is no representative. They cannot even bring that matter to Pope. A group of Christians cannot send delegates to Pope and talk about the killings of nuns and the fathers and reverend fathers and church members. They can't do it. Come to Igbo Union. They don't have any, there's no leadership. Come to Hanes and Igbo. There's no leadership. Even to our politicians, they cannot even come together and stand on one thing. That is why they are picking them after one another. The only organization that managed to build that hindrance was IPOB, led by Mazi Kanu. You can see the whole attack that we've never seen in our life has been directed to IPOB. Look at what is going on. Look at how they want to criminalize IPOB and the Biafra Restoration Project. Look at what they are doing. Our people will be dying. Somebody will be on internet drinking Hennessy and dancing. And people don't see anything wrong in that. Tell me in this world, any freedom fighter, tell me any reasonable person, tell me any lawyer, tell me any legal miner that will be going on internet, dancing when your people are dying. When your even colleagues are in detention, you are drinking and dancing. People are watching this and saying, he's doing well. He's doing a good job. Our people need, we need to wake up. We need to wake up and understand the danger and the surroundings.
Master Zayuba, cannot hear you anymore. Please round off and can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, Master, let me just round up. Yeah. So IPOB is the only organization that has a representative across the whole world that communicates with the government. We are not just making mouth. IPOB, anywhere they are in this world, communicate with the government that hosts them. No other organization in Igbo land, in the East, that has such high-powered representative across the globe. I don't see the reason why our people will leave IPOB, leave Mazi Kanu, leave such organization that took nearly over 10 years to establish. Now begin to follow somebody who is only blackmailing our lawyers, blackmailing leadership, blackmailing the movement. Only him claim to be right. Our people need to wake up. We are here just to reassure you, to reiterate that we are not going to back down, irrespective who is attacking us, irrespective who the enemy, the Nigerian government bribed. We are not going to retreat. We are not going to surrender. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be released. He's a prisoner of conscience. He's not a politician. He's fighting for his own people. He's asking for a referendum. And this is what we are here asking the whole world today, that Biafrans should be allowed to govern themselves. Allow us a referendum. If Nigeria beat us in a referendum, we then back down. On this note, Mazi, I just want to thank all of you for listening this evening, and also thank our European rep for enormous job he has done so far in the last 1 week, organizing all the European national coordinators to come and address our people, to let our people know that we are not quiet. We are working behind the scenes and engaging the people that matters. Thank you very much, Mazi Austine, and our host, Mazi Jonathan, and also all the national coordinators who have participated in this program in the last 1 week. Thank you very much, and keep on the good work. Biafra must be restored. And my name remains Mazi Austine. Good evening from here, and the microphone back to you, Mazi Austine. Thank you so much for listening this evening. Thank you.
My deputy, thank you. You have really hit the nail at the head, touching many areas of importance. And as I said at the opening speech, that our people will do well to listen to us tonight, because we have come to reiterate what we have been talking about for the past 3 weeks or so when we started this program. We know that the zoo has fallen. It is dead. It's remaining to be buried. So their burial will be when they will tamper with the justice system concerning Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case, because all eyes are on the judiciary of Nigeria. I know that already the indicators of failed state is all over Nigeria, but when we are going to bury them is when they tamper with the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We already know what they are planning, and we are taking precaution, preparing to bury them, because what is left now to bury them, they're already dead. We are going to nail their coffin and bury them. They are already gone, and there will be nothing like Nigeria anymore, as our leader has said many times. So we are not just talking for talking's sake. We do what we think is right at the right time. We don't need to come here and brag or to threaten. We don't do that. What we do is, when we say a word, we are going to do it. We make a promise and we keep that promise. Let them tamper with the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because the whole world is watching, and we are also watching attentively and getting ready to bury them. So thank you, Mazi Uba, for what you have said tonight. I'm sure our people are listening attentively to gain knowledge and understanding concerning where we stand in our struggle and what they need to do to ensure that our freedom is achieved in no time. Without wasting much time, let me call on the next person that is now going to address Biafrans in the person of Mazi Kenneth Ilanofe. Mazi Ilanofe is our national coordinator in Cyprus. So Mazi, if you can hear me, unmute yourself and start to address Biafrans. Mazi Ilanofe, can you hear me? Unmute yourself. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, go ahead, please start to speak. I can hear you.
Jonathan. Hello, Biafrans. Greetings from my assistant, Mazi Madabuchi, Barnabas Aloy, my zonal coordinators, and IPOB Cyprus at large. Great Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone. My name is Ikechukwu Kenneth Ilanofe. I am from Agro. Agro is in Oka province of Biafra. I'm serving the lovely people of Biafra as Cyprus National Coordinator. It's an honor and privilege to be here tonight to address some shortcoming, obstacle, and impediment via our struggle for restoration of Biafra. I'm here tonight to reaffirm Cyprus family loyalty to leadership of this great movement, Directorate of State, DOS, under the leadership of Head of Directorate, Mazi Austine, and also our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. We are strongly behind the leadership of this movement, and there is no two ways about it. So the world should acknowledge that IPOB have one leader, which is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but as our leader is still illegally detained, Mazi Austine, Head of the Directorate, we continue to pilot this movement till our leader is released. We do not acknowledge or recognize anybody parading himself as IPOB or Biafra spokesperson, and any government in exile, or anyone parading himself as Prime Minister of government in exile. Meanwhile, IPOB has no office like IPOB spokesperson, so do not be deceived. We still have so many Ifajuna in our midst, but IPOB will continue to conquer them and overcome them all, because we are 100% ready for them. You know, when OBJ, Obasanjo, and some Fulani people started promoting the Agbayim in Finland, I knew that they are up to something. And that was when they started their business with him, and he started attacking IPOB. They started saying something like that they are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't know that Agbayim in Finland is more dangerous than Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't blame them, because they can say whatever they want with their mouth. Good Biafrans, like our leader always said, that whatever DOS said is what goes. So let us continue to support DOS led by Mazi Austine. We must not be distracted or allow anybody to distract us. We must focus on our goals, which is unconditional release of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the restoration of Biafra. Forward ever, backward never. Meanwhile, we shall never forgive or forget those that are killing our people in the name of sit at home, or those using IPOB name and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu name to kill our people. IPOB does not kill Biafrans or destroy any of our people's property. We protect our people. We do not kill our people. So do not be deceived. Those killing our people, we shall never forgive or forget. May Chukwu Abiyama continue to protect, strengthen our leader, and release him from the hands of our enemies. May he direct the path of DOS and give them wisdom to overcome enemies, to overcome all the enemies of this movement. Good evening once again. Mazi Agbayim, over to you. Thank you.
There were Mazi Austine. Very, very simple and straight to the point. Thank you for what you have delivered, and I'm sure your message has been received. Let me go and call the next person now, who is going to speak. That is in the person of Pastor Frederick Moore here. Mazi Moore here is our coordinator in Denmark. Mazi, if you can hear me, the floor is yours. Please address Biafrans. Mazi here, unmute yourself and address Biafrans, if you may. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Maz. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. That was a little bit of a network problem there, but he's saying good evening to you, Mazi Austine, our European rep, who have been chairmaning the IPOB in Europe, in the area of the coordinators. We appreciate the work you are doing, and we pray that Chukwu Keme will continue to give you the courage and all the willing in the terms of strength to do your work. We are saying greetings to our dear brother who is hosting us today, Mazi Jonathan. We are happy that the work you are doing for IPOB, and I believe the rest of the world, those who are hearing you and your gospel, will understand our standpoint. We are saying thank you to our leader of the US, Mazi Austine. The work is doing a very calm and honest man. They have been accused of so many things. That he have been deceived. He has deceived Biafrans. He collected money. They bribed this, and he collected money to sell IPOB, which I know it is not truth. And we know the camp that are trying to pile up those falsehood. Mazi Austine is a calm man. He do things after thoughts. No man can bribe him, and no man can change him. That is why he's still standing, even today. When they plan evil against him and whole members of the US, the cajole, they sow those lies that the US was the one that betrayed our leader Martin and the Kanu. Time has proven, because the word of God is with us, that is not truth. So we are thanking him for the job he's doing. I want to thank those that are working with him in the US, his deputy. All of them doing marvelous work, supporting him. Just like in the days when Moses was called and 17 other men were chosen to support Moses. Remember, even when Moses was not there, the work was still going on. That is what is happening in our own time. All the leadership, everyone is playing his own role. And I appreciate that we came in with this idea, which our European rep brought in. So many people have thought that they have buried IPOB. IPOB doesn't exist anymore. Some thought that they are not hearing so much from us. Maybe we are in disarray. What God has started, if our God is with us, who can be against us? I want to thank all the other national representatives, our reps in America, North America, those in Asia, those in Africa, and those in all over the world, Biafra land, who are working in accordance of the rules and the code of conduct of IPOB. Even though they're killing us and we are dying, the remnants must continue. I want to thank them in their own capacity of work, which they are doing for IPOB. Our leadership, viewers, have been able to take everybody along. We have not fallen apart, as was suggested by the enemy. My names remains because I am a member of a coordinator in those capacity coordinators of IPOB in Denmark. So I have been doing this work from the beginning when our leader was with us, and he had taught us, and I have been in spirit, a man of God, before I entered IPOB. So let there be no mistake about it. I have been a spiritual man before I joined IPOB. And even when IPOB started, we know and heard of our leader. Chukwu Okeke has spoken to me in those lines and what I should do and my role. So that role, I guided jealously. And Chukwu Okeke has been anointing and bringing information, which I will release some of them tonight. Biafrans in Denmark have been consistent in the truth. I know we suffered a lot of lies from unknown quarters when our men and women, our women names were introduced to the Omada in the United States. Then they brought in a different spirit, which is contrary spirit. Our people knows this spirit very well and how it does its work. It is mostly by lying. We call it a lying spirit. Those period of time caused us a very, very big harm in terms that those who went to that meeting, who joined the Umada in the United States, those who were listening to the lies, they were influenced by this spirit of manipulation. They were manipulated. I am sure today the history have proven that that spirit cannot excel, or neither can it give a Biafra, because it is an immature spirit. It is a spirit that we never knew, neither did we worship that spirit. Igbo na-asị na nwoke si na-eji ọfọ, nwaanyị si na-eji ọfọ, mana ọfọ ma onye ji ya no. So that spirit have never won in Biafra land and never ruled in the land of Biafra. It was introduced to us. Chinachebe explained it a little bit in his book of Things Fall Apart. The enemy brought that spirit. It is spirit of deceive. So we know and we handled it very well. That is why I'm not disturbed, because God spoke to me about the person that is in Finland that have been operating under that influence. When he started, our people remember that he started by using mrimba, what we call bird in English, every midnight. So when you are working that spirit, it is a spirit of lying. He continues to tell lies and things that he cannot carry out, things he cannot do or succeed to do. So it is a manipulating spirit. So it does not move me. And God told me that I should speak on those lines against that spirit, which I did confidently. And I know whatever I said must surely come to pass. Our leadership, our leader, Mazi Nnamdi, told us and warned us that this spirit will occur and many will be deceived. At one point in time, he warned us that how many are we in this IPOB business and restoration of the kingdom of Biafra? I think he was talking in those lines that many will be deceived by that manipulating spirit. That spirit possessed many and turned them away from the spirit of light, which is the word of God, which is the word of God. And it says in the word of God that that spirit will come, but shame to whomever that spirit will take and deceive. Therefore, we're standing because we are the light of the world, and when the light shines on darkness, darkness cannot comprehend it. That's what is going on. So we are not forgotten our roots, our leaders, Mazi and Kanu. We have been praying, making supplications for him day and night. And Almighty Chukwuka have been spoken billions of times regarding his case, that the matters is in his hand. If you don't believe, I will give you some examples to believe that our God is with us. And if it is with us, nobody and nothing can be against us. You remember when we started this program, we are trying to tell our brothers, which are in the diaspora, the Caucasians, about the coming of the will of God and that Biafra will be restored. They did not believe us. Or they did, but they were afraid of the coming of Biafra. While we are in the midst of getting Biafra, they brought in what they call coronavirus. That was a deceit of the century. Millions were lost, both in America and Europe, and they thought they will wipe little more of Africa. It did not happen because it is a spiritual thing. Our God is with us. Again, they tried, and Chukwuka was ministering to me and to Biafrans and those who are listening and hearing him. It is him that will bring us Biafra. And then it did not work out. At the end of that, you remember, if you recall, again, why that did not sell? They created a war. A war broke out in Ukraine. Then they used Ukraine to pretend that they are not hearing us. Again, they tried all they could, fighting and destroying. Our God was still with us and he sustained us. The man they planted, Agbayim, or whatever his name is, we were in Norway, Finland. We have men and women there before him. So when you talk about soul winning, IPOB have won souls in Norway. In Finland, we have men there. So the spirits in those lands have already noticed us and they are aware of what we are doing. So any soul that he will won will be limited because we are granted ever before then in those lands of Scandinavia, including Denmark, where I dwell and living as a woman. So we have won souls. So whatever soul he wants or whatever he gains, it is not the real thing because what we were there before him. We awakened the spirit. So what IPOB needed to do and continue to do is just you just go back to our root, what we used to do. We just shake the bag. I shake a small, but I shake here. Don't worry. Be happy. Our God is with us. That's what I want to say. When they fought the war and they are still fighting the war, they pretend not to hearing us. The Lord created again, Chukwuka created again another scenario for them in Niger. Now they are running haters scatter. Oh, they must win and they must keep Africa under their command. That is not selling as of moment. While they were fighting about how to continue the what they did in Germany, Chukwuka have equal again raised another bottleneck again for them, the BRICS. So there are so many wars for them to fight. And what will stop all this war is when they grant our leader his freedom and let go. They must let go because again, the Lord spoke to me again that even though they are holding our leader, he knows what to do. And what is he saying to me? I want to share this tonight to those who don't believe. You can pray and ask him. Our God, Chukwu Okike Abiyam, while they were thinking they can stop us, the Lord said he will command one or two or three missiles that will go to a country that is closer to Ukraine called Poland. We have more than 50-something million there. I saw men and women running haters scatter in Germany because they will troop to next, they will trip to east in Germany. And when they troop in Germany, there will be a problem. Europe will begin to look for their ancestral home, which is Biafra. The Lord is warning them tonight if they are listening, and let them listen carefully. They are going to be immigrants. I believe by when the time this starts, we may not be there, but people like Tony Blair and Cameron and the governors and ministers of the world will be running around as immigrants in Biafra land because Chukwuka has spoken so. So let us go. Our leader must be free unconditionally. I want to narrate all this because it is what God has spoken. I am not speaking of my own authority. Once they have touched Poland, Gdansk support and Warsaw, the millions there will empty into Germany. I make it clear. And once they enter Germany, Germany will not contain them, and they will succumb the rest of Europe. And Europe will return back to, I will migrate back to where they are coming from, which is Biafra land. And the Lord said, I should not pray for that. He want me. That is what is going to happen. But I should not pray for that. He want them to return wherever the Lord has given them. But let go, Biafrans. Biafra must let go. This is the words of Chukwu Okike Abiyam. I have so many things in my book to mention. I don't know what the time permits me because I understood that I have 15 minutes to narrate this gospel of Chukwukabiam. The sacrifices we have made. I started the Koban and the Co. The Lord have a limited time for them to repent. They thought they are fighting us, the Biafrans, but they are fighting the spiritual world because our calling is divine. All this I have mentioned, you go and provide the Lord will speak in those areas that He created, both the white, our brothers, and those that are black, our His own sons and daughters. So let us listen and listen carefully what the Lord Chukwukabiam is speaking. Let them let Biafrans go now, instead of them to be immigrants in Biafra land, because that is the area the Lord said we should not pray for, because He wants them to return there. The mineral resources in Biafra land will be shared. We will sell them to them, and they will develop their own economy. And we shall walk as the sons of Most High, Chukwu Okike, the creator of heaven and earth. On this note, because of time, I will be signing off from Denmark. My name remains Ambassador Pastor Nwohia. I'm a native of Umuokwana, Umagon, in Imo province. Thank you, our leader here, Mazi Austine Kanu, who have been our leader, even in absence. May God continue to sustain you and your family. May God continue to keep your wife, that she might be able to overcome all the things that her wife, her husband, is supposed to do, and she's not receiving them because of our leader being in the hands of the enemy. We are saying, praying for her day and night. We are praying for the leadership of IPOB worldwide and our leader who is sustaining and holding the ministry of Mazi Austine Kanu, the gospel, which is Mazi Chike. I want people to reiterate that Biafrans worldwide, wherever you are, our God have approved Biafra radio station as the only place we should worship. Any other station, it is not truth. And if you are using or sending your money or listening, you are wasting your time. There is only one channel. God cannot speak in different ways. He cannot choose a leader and then He choose another one. It's not possible. On this time, I'm calling and saying thank you, Biafrans, and I'm signing out from here in Denmark. I'm handing over the mic to our rep, Mazi Agbayim. God bless you and thank you, Biafrans. God bless you and good night from here.
There were Mazi Pastor Nwohia for your own perspective, mainly spiritual part of it. So it is good to have that angle as well. And those who will understand will also understand what you have delivered. So thank you for your time and thank you for being a part of this program tonight. Let me go on and call the last but not the least we have here on the studio. That is Mazi Peter Ebiwe Ahochog, our national coordinator in the Netherlands. Mazi Ahochog, if you can hear me, please take on the floor and address Biafrans now. There we go. Mazi, unmute yourself and speak if you can hear me.
Good evening. Mazi, are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead, Mazi.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon, good night to every IPOB all over the world. Depending on your time zone, I send my greetings to you. My name is Chebomiwe Ahochog from Umbese, the old Owerri in Biafra, Owerri province in Biafra land. I would like to use this opportunity. I thank my able European leader, Mazi Austine, for giving me this opportunity to talk to our people. It is a privilege. It's not a right. that I'm talking on this hallowed platform at this hour. At this moment, I'd like to use this time to thank our host, the radio presenter of this moment, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, for the way he's been handling the activities of Biafra, the way he's been the dedication he's been doing is only God and will reward him, and not excluding other veterans, other radio and media presenter like the veteran Mazi Peter and Mazi Alozie. These people are doing wonderful work for us and to themselves. They are doing a very wonderful work. And of course, I am equally thanking every IPOB member all over the world, everybody working assiduously for the freedom and restoration of our fatherland, Biafra. My greetings and thanks goes to my fellow comrades who have already spoken before me as well. I thank them. And my greeting cannot go without greeting and prayer cannot go without remembering our great and amiable leader and impeccable leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the man who had the voice of God, Chukwu Kabiama, and answer, and took on this odious task to restore the land of Biafra. And since then, he has been unwavering. He has never wavered for anything, no matter the kind of storm that has been on his way. He cannot be bought. It's somebody to emulate. I equally thank the Directorate of State, DOS, led by Mazi Chika Edoziem and Mazen Zurumike and all the rest of them. Time will not allow me to be able to point all the names, but everybody that is doing whatever good thing that is doing towards our liberty, God will reward you accordingly. Having made all these points now, having seen all the points that my comrades have already made, I wouldn't like to flood your mind with tales, but just to buttress on certain things they have said, and to add a little flavor to the things we're doing. Having seen in the recent time now the stories that have been trending in the social media from the paid agents and the MOs that the Nigerian rogue regime hired to scuttle our struggle for freedom. I would like to take this time to announce to the world that we have only one IPOB, only one indigenous people of Biafra, under the direct command and leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Though still incarcerated in the DSS dungeon, he is still our leader. I and those under my jurisdiction in the state of Netherlands are completely loyal to him and to the Directorate of State, DOS. Let me not make a mistake and call DSS. We are completely loyal. Just like Joshua said, I am the members of my family. We have chosen who to follow, the true God. We have chosen to follow the true way. The only true way is the one that is led by Mazi Chika Edoziem. Since we say in our language, when the anya pia iku elewehe anya nele. Yeah, for those of them that couldn't understand what I meant, yeah, since Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was incarcerated, he has there's a modus operandi, there's a method in our madness, there's a method we do our things, that the leadership, we have no other structure we have no structure of a deputy leader since the saga of the former whatever he calls himself. But we have our allegiance to the one and only gentle, meek giant, Mazi Chika Edoziem. A man of few words, but when he speaks, there's an action. Somebody, you can read with your mind that somebody is talking, not just making an empty balloon something and then just making a hollowed statement. But this man, since the mantle of leadership fell on him, he has been piloting the affairs with all forms of dexterity, to the best of my understanding. And with all his lieutenants, they have been doing excellently well. Can I talk anything to rule out somebody like Mazi Chinasanworu? This guy has been incredibly good. I create my indulgence. I give them I adopt my car for them. And my obedience and allegiance, together with the people under my jurisdiction, we pay to them. Yes, though there was some pockets of infiltrators and charlatans and moles, but in Netherlands during that time, but they have been taken care of as it is. Netherlands is completely intact under the direct leadership of Mazi Chika Edoziem until when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out and join us. Definitely he will come out. And these people, these are moles. We know that no matter how they operate, even the ones that call themselves the siblings of our leader, Madam Finance, even the hired lawyer, they know what they're doing because these people are all paid agents. They are not working. Because when you ask them to distinguish between IPOB, there's no faction of IPOB. There's no autopilot. There's nobody, anybody can just come out and call himself a crime minister or whatever they call himself. We are careless about that. IPOB is not divided. There's no other faction. There's no other faction. Unless anybody that's gullible that want to be deceived, by all these people that has no clue of what is going on. So people have to be very much aware that the leadership is under Mazi Chika Edoziem. And these are the ones that I can call a true disciple, not a self-acclaimed disciple in a place called Finland. They are not the true disciple. Always listen to his master, and that is what Mazi Chika Edoziem and his lieutenants have exhibited. That they are truly a good disciple and a good people to be worked with. They never try to overthrow their leader, even when he's absent. But they are doing the work, just like because you see when there are two types of people that works. One, they are working. The leadership of Mazi Chika Edoziem are really trained. They are under the tutelage of Mazi. They were under the tutelage of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, just like those that were under the tutelage of Yeshua. And when he left, he told them to tarry, and they tarried. And the blessing of leadership fell upon them, and they were operating. But these other ones were operating under lies. They cannot excel. Just like what happened to Judas, the money they have taken to betray our leaders, they will have that money in their gullery and they dangle themselves. That is my prayer, and it can never be otherwise. I have no doubt in my mind that Mazi Chika Edoziem and his lieutenants are proven to be a true faithful disciple, and not him, and not these charlatans. Sometime when Obasanjo and the rest of them were promoting this challenge, that was the time I said, whatever Obasanjo, and everybody knows who Obasanjo is. whoever that is promoting, this person mustn't be the right road to follow. So that is one thing I just thank myself, and I just drift away from those kind of people. Then, before I round up this thing, there are one or two things I would like to add. Britain, everybody should understand that Britain and their allies, they are behind. They are the people that are behind the incarceration of our leader, and they know. They just keep blind eyes, as if they don't know. As if they don't know. They should understand that they have committed a whole heinous crime against humanity, and they have violated the ethics of the ethics that God has made on this earth. That they should understand that the earth is of the Lord and the fullness of it. They should know that the Biafran state, if I could use this analogy, Biafran state is just like a boiling steam water in a hot oven, which Britain is cooking. And one thing you should understand, even you as the person that is cooking this boiling heated water, if you are not careful when you are trying to come and open it, this boiling water will devour you. Britain, you have to be very, very careful about what they're doing. All the evil seed they have sown in Biafra land, they have to be very, very careful. And before I could conclude, I would like to use one or two sentences to advise my people, both at home and abroad, to know very well that there are only two sets of people that handle knives as a worker. A true worker, like the surgeon, he handles knife. And the Nigerians also, they have another people that handle knife. These are their butchers. And the IPOB are the true surgeons. We have come to save our people. We are not here. Anybody that have come to save his people never kill his people. We are not. IPOB and led by Mazi Austine are just like surgeons that operate with very carefulness to extract whatever disease that is being worried, that the patient is suffering. But these other people that are holding knife, they don't care where these are butchers. They don't care where the meat is coming out. Only what they are interested in is just to cut the meat and cut it from anywhere. And these are the people you should be very, very careful with. Our people should wake up from slumber, knowing that we have to pursue the black goat in that time before it is dark. And one thing again they should understand is that Nigeria government, led by the Fulani cabals, they are stupid. Together with their British father, they are all stupid. And why do I use this word? They are stupid, and they are just like a snake that you have hit with a big stick or cut with a knife. They are not going to give up the fight. Even though they are inside their room, you cannot relent because, oh, this snake is in my room. He has his venom. Until you make sure that the head is off and the tail is off, don't relent. Why am I using this analogy? The Nigerian government and the British government, with the kind of exposure they thought that would never have come to limelight, that IPOB have exposed them. They are fighting like those kind of wounded snake. They are not going to give up the fight. And you people have to make sure that you kill the snake and they remove the head carefully. Thank God I have some skillful hunters like the DOS that know how to kill the snake, know how to hunt very well, know when to take a refuge, and they make sure that the snake didn't vomit the venom to us. That's exactly what I'm trying to let our people know. That these people are just like snake that you have already caught, and are not going to give up without a fight. Please, we should make sure that their head are completely cut off. We should not relent until we do it. And knowing that anybody that has put in his hand on the plow never look back. Never look back until we are at the last line. We know that this race, and then we'll be able to jubilate and then thank ourselves. I can round up in this moment, thanking all that are doing the great job to make sure that our freedom is ensured. Mazi Austine, I thank you, and I thank all the rest of the Biafran. Good evening.
We have done very well. You have delivered, and the Biafrans are glad you came tonight. We have to continue to put our people in the know, because as I said at the beginning of this program 3 weeks ago, that knowledge is power. Okay, the difference between the boss and the servant is that the boss has access to more information than the servant, and that information gives you knowledge and power. So we have come here to impart that knowledge to our Biafrans so that they can be equal stakeholder in our struggle. But the most important thing they should bear in mind is that if you are not going to the right channel for your information, you are going to be deceived and be confused. Radio Biafra remains our source of undiluted information that is needed for your opinion building. This is the only place you hear from people who are under oath. Tell the truth at all times, because we have come here with clean hands. We are not here to joke. We are not here to monetize our freedom, although some elements have tried that, but we have exposed them to the world, and hopefully they have learned their lesson. If not, they will face the consequences of, preying on the blood of millions of Biafrans who have paid the ultimate price for our freedom. So our hands are clean, and our cause is divine. That's why we remain formidable, we remain consistent and unperturbed in our quest for freedom. So Biafrans all over the world, thank you for your listenership. You need to be aware that the zoo has fallen. We have defeated all their infiltrators planted in the struggle, both within and without. And we are expecting them to bring up another infiltrator. So be on the watch. Be on the watch, because open your eyes when you sleep, just one eye, because they are going to send another person who will start to castigate our leader, castigate the leadership, telling you how corrupt they have been. But in essence, they were the one who have taken money from the zoo government to come and castigate, to come and criticize, and to come to see if they can cause confusion and division in this movement. But as I said, this is divinely ordained, and only the upright can understand what we are doing and where we are going. I hope that we have delivered. I hope that we have imparted some knowledge to you. I hope with what European coordinators have said for the past 3 weeks will help you to digest, to understand, and to activate your frontal lobe so that you will be reasoning properly and be prepared to support this struggle and face whatever obstacle that they are going to throw upon us in the time to come. So thank you so much, Mazi, Jonathan, for hosting us for these past 3 weeks, for the time given to us, for the opportunity we have to deliver this information to our people, for the purpose of disseminating and communicating and enlightening. And we hope we have achieved our goal at the end of this program. This is the last batch of coordinators tonight, and we have come to say thank you for your listenership, and Chukwu Okabama to bless each and every one of you who are Ezigbo Muchineke. Remain blessed, and Chukwu Abiyama bless you all. All hail Biafra. My name is Mazi Austine Agbayim, the European rep, saying goodbye from Switzerland. All hail Biafra.
All must hail Biafra. We must continue in this journey. It is a journey that is not prone to different difficulties and problems, but it is not a journey of impossibility. We must continue in the movement towards our goal of restoring Biafra. Biafrans and lovers of freedom, you have listened, you have the hostess mouths, and do not forget that we are continuing our call and African Union, China, USA, different countries, the place of darkness itself, England. Therefore, we must continue being consistent and tenacious in what we are doing, because consistency is the key. You know, once Mazi Kanu imbibed in us consistency, that is what our detractors are afraid of. Consistency. You wake us from sleep, we are speaking the same language. We are swimming, we are saying the same thing. We are not people that this is not an ordinary movement or Igbo group or Igbo something. No, that tomorrow they'll start pursuing shadow. No. This is indigenous people of Biafra, the indigenous people of Biafra, led by Mazi Kanu, who is still in the enemy dungeon. But we must continue what we are doing, because we have no reverse gear and we have no back to go to. Therefore, continue listening onto this hallowed platform, because as I said, we will continue our normal program from this week. We are entering and continue disseminating the gospel of emancipation, the gospel of freedom, the gospel of liberation. Remember that you can never be genuinely physically liberated without being mentally liberated first. Mental emancipation is what we are doing here, and it is ricocheting in every part of Africa, because this is the era of African awakening and renaissance. The Europeans had their own many centuries ago, 16th, 17th, 18th century. And the result is what we are seeing today, development and advancement. This is our own time, the African renaissance. Therefore, we must continue doing what we know how to do best. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it is simply good evening.
Because the land of the rising sun is a home of hope, a home of the Biafrans. The far of the eastern land is a promised land, a blessed land of the true Biafra. Ebeka konusi Biafra, Ebeka konusi Biafra, Kaimara Biafra, Kaneboso Kadiri, Kaimara Biafra, Kaneboso Kadiri, Biafra Kadiri, Zambe, Wabo, Anijala, One of them more come along, but one not you know, was in a Biafra. Chukwuki Kabiama, Onani Monaka, Yamerani Yema, Sampe, Uwaboke, Anijala, Nalana, Biafra Baloma, Ala Chukwu Gozire, Ala Mana, Ala Chukwu Gozire. the rising sun. When Bukapu see, no Jim Matakiri, oh, when I can you, I can for you for way to ya. Macano, all of you got it on it. Hey, Linda Ladima, Ndisu, Nina no Barama, Ndiokuga, Adapala no so, Kahapa to Sue Biafra, Manachuko Kikabia Magika in Macao, Manachuko Kikabia Magika in Ndiokuga, Adapala no so,
we will keep revealing it. We will keep destroying them. We have nothing to get from here. What do we have? Nothing. Just because L.S. Ekweme was vice president, Chuba Kadibo was sent to come and teach them the democracy, politics. He came here as the special advisor to Mr. President Alhaji Shehu Shagari on political matters. Ekweme was vice. And at the end, later, Okadibo as the special advisor to Mr. President Alhaji Shehu Shagari on political matters. He was able to convince Shagari to agree that Ojukwu should return. Immediately Ojukwu returned. Automatically, because they were seeing Ojukwu as the president of Nigeria. Immediately Ojukwu came back home 1982. They started seeing Ojukwu as the president of Nigeria. What was their reason? That his brother Ekweme is vice president. And his brother Okadibo is special advisor to Mr. President. They are now seeing that Ojukwu is now knowing what is happening in the Nigerian government. And they sent Buhari to overthrow Shagari. Have the Northerners complained? No. That is to say, Buhari committed treason 1983, December 31st, against a legitimate president, Alhaji Shehu Shagari. What have Nigeria said? The same Buhari turned around when he was alive and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu, Mohammed Airport. 14th of September again. You see this 14th September. You see this 14th September. 14th September has special thing in our struggle. Sorry, 14th of October. Yes, it was 14th of October, 2015. 14th of October, 2015. But 14th of September was when army invaded. And date of Nnamdi Kanu, date of court, Supreme Court, 14th of September also. So, 14th of October 2015, they invaded Mohammed Airport, Lagos, and kidnapped Nnamdi Kanu. And charged him for treason. Treason Buhari committed. Buhari committed treason against Shagari that was voted in by the people, 1979. They were charging Nnamdi Kanu for treason. But the man that overthrew a legitimate president was the man charging an innocent man treason. At the end, what happened? He destroyed them. He defeated them. They shamelessly ended up granting him bail upon 2 unconditional releases by court of competent jurisdiction in Abuja Federal High Court judges. Discharge Nnamdi Kanu. Justice Ademola of the Federal High Court discharged Nnamdi Kanu in Abuja 2015 unconditionally. John Shaw discharged Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. It is abomination. And the traditional rulers from Igbo land, when time comes, they will answer. They must provide a suit they filed in the court. Ahmed Mohammed told DSS to go and obey the previous court rulings. Bintanyako ended up in granting Nnamdi Kanu bail At the end, what the Nigerian army did, they went to the house of Nnamdi to kill him. What happened? They killed 28 men and they went on the road, start killing Biafrans. They went in communities, start killing Biafrans. At the end of this matter, against Nigerian army for invading a palace of late Israel Kanu in Igbo land. They, the traditional rulers, they have their prince and the princesses. They are traditional rulers. They were there. The army invaded. They did not sue Nigerian army, not in the name of Nnamdi Kanu. They should sue them for invading a palace and shedding the blood of 28 Igbo young youths. It is a very legitimate suit. They will answer this case. We can never forget. If you like, you hide when you are supposed to play your own. We are keeping records. We IPOB. I have a ribbon on the titi. I have a ribbon monkey post. We come to restore Biafra. Don't take us for granted. Don't take us for granted. Don't joke with us. Apart from Israel Kanu, Igbo prince. Igbo prince in that for Nnamdi Kanu. Ndị eze ala Igbo enwebe ha gbara abịa akwụkwọ ma ya fazie na-ekpeghị ya. Ndị eze ala Igbo enwebe ha gbara Nigeria amị akwụkwọ, enwebe ha gbara ọhaneze akwụkwọ, enwebe ha gbara gọvanọ akwụkwọ. Minsi na ahụ akpara nkata. Ndị eze ala Igbo ọbara kwafu na nke eze Israel Kanu 14th of September na the palace. You had the file palace na ala Igbo. All of you think we are joking. Okono so no elder. Una already file their palace. Ebukwara dark cousin sister Nnamdi Kanu. Ọkwa arụ unu ga-aza case ya until nesu Nigerian army. Even emechakwara create no chance again in 2022 19th of January 2022. Umuahia Federal State High Court gave a verdict telling the world that Nnamdi Kanu did not jump bail. He escaped military assassination attempt. I gave a broadcast then. I made a broadcast after that very verdict. I called the attention of traditional rulers. I called the attention of all of them. I said, this is an opportunity to use this one. Maybe you were afraid 2017. But this very judgment by the verdict, judgment by Umuahia State High Court is a very good ground. Continue with a country that does not obey court order. Is that what you want us to belong to? Supreme Court judges? You see this Supreme Court, we have encouraged our people to be patient. Let us go to Supreme at the last. But if all of you think that we are fools, we will leave that reign. The leadership of IPOB will leave that reign to fall. So as we have been petting our people, holding our people, encouraging our people, you now take us for granted. It is command and control, if you don't know. Only one central command. Before you can hold us back. We are not infiltrators. We are not thieves. We are not criminals. We can never fight you like criminals. We will fight you like freedom fighters. We will fight you in the open. We cannot be unknown gunmen. We can never act like unknown gunmen. It is not in the face of freedom fighting. We will confront you in the open. You see that thing you want. The leadership of IPOB will release hand. Allow a leader to go. We will release hand. You see these senators from the east, governors, go and tell Supreme Court to sit our court. I have 1 million years old. Leadership I have 1 million years old. This rain will follow. This rain, we have suffered to hold these people. We have suffered. It is not easy. 2 years to hold our people to be calm. It is not easy. If IPOB starts, it will not be in a criminal manner. It will be in a civilized manner. But all of you will get it hot. Do not allow us to allow it to happen. Because you are the one that will allow it to happen. We are the people holding it. We have suffered. It wasn't easy for us to hold our people. If you know, if you are a senator, if you are a governor, you must know that we are the people holding our people. You must know this. Nigeria cannot hold our people. The infiltrators and criminals you recruited, we cannot act like them. We are not thieves. We will confront you in a civilized manner. We will confront you the same manner we have been confronting you. And do they think we are Nigerians? You can do Nigeria issue like that. Supreme Court, you can treat Nigeria issue like that. I thought that these people are judges. This is case of Biafra and Nigeria. This is case of Nnamdi and federal government. Nnamdi is not asking for Nigerian president. He's asking for Biafra referendum. Why must you truncate it? Why? Sitting on the judgment of Nnamdi Kanu. You know that the stay of execution was rubbish. Why are you joking with us? Or you are trying to joke with us? And you're doing flexible. So the way we are maintaining it, okay, you think we are foolish. Don't worry now. Waiting is not wasting. Bear patience to receive information. Because that very last bus stop, which is Supreme Court, that is where we are now. None of you wanted us to be there. All of you, Supreme Court judges, was sponsoring media blackmail. All of you were sponsoring Punch, sponsoring Daily Times, because you saw it as your instrument to bring us down. If not, why would you fix a date of court and tell us it did not match with the day? Is that madness? Is it not becoming contesting for Senate? Why must you treat our matter as if we are fellow Nigerians? Are we your fellow Nigerians? Can't you treat our matter maturely? Don't you know we are not the same with you? Are we practicing rubbish with you? Should we continue with a country that does not obey court order? Is that what you want us to belong to, Supreme Court judges? You see this Supreme Court, we have encouraged our people to be patient. Let us go to Supreme at the last. But if all of you think that we are fools, we will leave that reign. The leadership of IPOB will leave that reign to fall.